Hello everyone, my name is Beckett and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great day, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a little build video that I use for Floor 100. It was featured in a video I did earlier on my Floor 100 cheese guide, so if you want to complete that every time, never have to worry, go ahead and just click that link and go ahead and watch that video, and then we'll have this build guide into it too. So I made this build just primarily for this encounter, but you can use it for almost anything else in the game. But before we get started, if you like the content, please hit that sub. And if you end up liking the video, go ahead and hit that like. It really helps out the channel. We're going into a nice little Division 2 channel right now. Alright, so let's get into this build. First thing first, we are going to be running Firewall Specialization. So if you don't have it leveled out that much or leveled out at all, it won't be that hard to get to that point. We honestly only need to be running 25 points into it, but if we can get to 35, that's great. If you got it all filled out, awesome, you don't have to worry. So what we're really going to want to be looking for is Firewall Tactical Link. Allies deal 10% more damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you. If you're in solo, it probably doesn't matter that much, but 10% extra damage from all your teammates going out is amazing. The next thing we're going to be running, because we're going to be running SMG as our primary, we're just going to want the spray and pray. 15% extra SMG damage. And that's awesome. That's really the only thing we need to be running in a build. If you wanted to add anything else, I would add fiery response. Just when your armor breaks, if they rush in, a burn goes out, it's going to kind of disorient them and slow them down for a quick second and won't be a problem. As you can see, I'm running this cover to cover down here. It doesn't really matter. If you got anything else filled out, that's great. But that's the only thing we really need for this build. So let's get into the gear. Now, you don't have to follow my build exactly, but I would suggest going like a full red build or at least 2 blues. I'm running 2 blues just for a little tankiness because you know those hunters hit pretty hard, and I would also suggest running Adrenaline Rush paired with Intimidate just because we get that extra 35% damage while we have bonus armor, and when they come in, we're going to want all that bonus armor we can get, and skills are kind of useless. So I'm going to be running the Backfire. This is the new SMG, the exotic. If you don't know what it does, it has a talent called Pay Mankind. Every time you do damage, you get a 1% critical hit damage buff, stacking up to 200 times. So you just have to hit them. You don't have to critical hit them. You don't have to headshot them, nothing. You just get that stack. But it has a downside. Every time you reload, you get a debuff that gives you a bleed for 10 seconds that does 0.5% of your armor per stack, but we're not going to be hitting close to 200 stacks, so we really don't have to worry about that. And anything that gets close to that, we're going to have our bonus armor that's going to get eaten up by that, so that's not going to be an issue. And we're going to be running other things like Revive Hive and stuff like that. I just went with my F2000. It's just my go-to gun, you know, for my assault rifle and my secondary, just in case I ran out of ammo or whatever it may be. I'm running Hunter's Fury just because it's what I had on me and it worked at a time. It just has that extra SMG damage. Even though we're not going to have the 25% damage debuff up, we will have the 20% weapon damage when they're 15 meters within us. I ran 2 Bellstone just for the 1% armor regen, so it regenerated that armor. And the armor on kill, it's okay. I just didn't have anything to replace it, and I just wanted to run 2 blues at the time. And as you can see, I'm running critical hit damage and crit hit chance. The idea is just to hit that 60%. I think I'm running 58%, and we'll get into the stat sheet in a second and we can go through that. And then just the holster critical hit damage, like I said, we just want to hit crit hit, crit damage, hit crit chance to 60%, and then whatever's left we can put into crit hit damage, but we're not really worried about crit hit damage too much because we have that SMG. Now, skill wise, we're going to be running the Revive Hive. Everyone in your group probably should be running the Revive Hive just because you get knocked, you don't have to worry about your teammate saving you. It's not a wipe. It's just easy. It's got a long cooldown, but hopefully you don't have to use it. I think I had to use it once, and that was it. I think we all had to use ours once, and it was never really an issue. We were just peeking way too hard when we shouldn't have with the sniper rifle and just doing dumb mistakes. As long as you're not doing stuff you shouldn't be and just being way too aggressive with these hunters, it's not going to be an issue. And then we are going to be running Shock Trap, because the way it's going to be happening, we're just going to be trapping them. Anytime they come in, they're going to get stuck in status effects, and we're just going to be able to nuke them down really quickly. And I just want to let you guys know, I did not run this with friends. I plugged this all the way through. So there was no communication over Discord. We were just chatting. All right, now let's get into the nerdy stuff. All right, right off the bat, weapon damage, not that high, 112. But it doesn't really matter because we're just looking for that critical hit chance, 58%. My Shade Watch, it's only 387, as you can see. So if it was higher, I'd be able to hit that crit cap. Not a problem. I'd probably have higher critical hit damage. So if you have a max Shade Watch, it's going to be a lot easier and you're going to put out a lot more damage. Headshot damage just got mixed in there. I'm not trying to stack it at all, to be honest. 0 armor, 0 health. All that stuff, and then we can get, so as you can see, I'm running 68% all weapon damage with the 44% submachine gun. That's where we're getting like a lot of our damage, and from that critical hit damage. And then we can go into, so our armor, 1000 armor, that's just to make us feel a little better, you know, just a little buff. And then we got 3000 armor kill. It's really not going to come into handy, but then we got this like 10,000 armor regeneration. That's really helpful, and it comes into handy, especially if we get hit, because those guys hit with like every skill. The oxidizer, be careful. It's like a one shot. If you do not get in, like you survive one tick, and if you do not get out in one tick, you're dead. Now that you guys got to see the build and what kind of stats I'm working with, well, that's it for that build. So if you still are struggling with floor 100, go ahead and check out my video and my guide on how to get past it. It's near the end. So if you stuck to this, just go to about the 8-minute mark on my other video and it will show you how to cheese it quickly. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.